We recognize that one great American city is experiencing an invasion. That is an invasion on our democracy, on our republic, and on each and every one of us. And the fact that you all are standing up means the world. You know, never in a million years did I think that we would be in this place where troops and federal agents by the thousands have been deployed on a great American city, where the Department of Justice is used as a weapon to silence dissent, where the very foundational principles of our democracy and of our republic are questioned. You know, I didn't take this job to get into the business of defending democracy. I did it because being a mayor has always been my dream job. There's great honor in filling potholes. It is noble to keep people safe and to build affordable housing. That work which we do every single day is foundational to the principles of our republic, and all the same, we find ourselves in a different position right now. We are on the front lines of a very important battle, and it's important that we aren't silenced, that we aren't put down. This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth of skill and lines throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath listening and learning in sincerity and in truth and in silence, Shalom. This is your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. Right, we'll get right into it. Right. The hot topic, the spirit of division, the upwards of the people. Right, the wars and rumors of wars, right, and this thing popping off in Minneapolis, which could segue into full-blown civil war. Because this is a mayor speaking. Right, let's hear what he said here.
Despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next. We've seen them.
Right, he's saying we got to step up, we got to speak out, right? 2nd Ezra 8:50, and it reads, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world," right? And we are in the latter time, right? Many great miseries is coming, man, because they have walked in great pride, right? And where or what is more proud than the Edomite? Where or what is more proud than the hub city of the Edomites? America the Great, Babylon the Great, spiritual Nineveh, spiritual Assyria, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. Where is more proud than America the Great, Babylon the Great? Listen, and the arming of selves, right? This article on NBC News, right? Minneapolis firearm instructors see surge in interest amid ongoing turmoil. 5 firearm instructors in the Minneapolis area said sign-ups for safety training, which is required for permit holders, have grown in the past 2 weeks. Right? People sense that the wheels are going to fall off. So people are making preparations to do the necessary, to take the necessary certification so they can possibly arm themselves. Let's get 2nd Ezra 15. All hell gonna break loose out here, man. Right? We're in that time. Second Ezra 50. And this scripture is coming out all day, every day, from various Akiam, from various GMS Akiam brothers doing this work. This scripture here is coming out daily because we are in this time. Second Ezra 15 and 14, it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," right? Woe meaning destruction. Right? And listen, if you don't, if you're tired of hearing the same thing over and over again, then change the channel. Right? We're in the time of prophecy. We're bringing out the prophecy. We're mirroring what's going on in the world with the scriptures, and we're blowing the trumpet. We're reporting on it. Right? The scriptures say the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Right? The men of the Lord are going to be prophesying, regardless of how redundant it sounds. Like if it sounds like a broken record, if it sounds like it's over and over, we're going to keep blowing the trumpet. Verse 15, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Right? The sword, a killing instrument. Right? And what's the modern day sword? Right? The stick. "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands," right? And we're on the verge of seeing listen, lines are being drawn in the sand about who of what side the Babylonian, whether you're red or blue, Republican or Democrat, free spirited or a MAGA hat. The lines are being drawn. Right? There's turmoil in America, the great Babylon the Great, right now. Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men," right? And we're in that time. Sedition, rebellion. "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right? They're not going to listen to the mayor, the governor. Right? It's going to get to the point where people aren't going to care, man. Look, the clip we're watching, that's the mayor of Minnesota. Talk about he's against the ICE agents.
Attack. This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next. We've seen them attack and invade, not just with this occupation, but also with the...
Man, you hear the buzzwords, right? Occupation, attack, right? Stand up, all buzzwords.
Department of Justice being used as a weapon. They're investigating me and several other local elected officials, not because we've done something wrong, but because we have exhibited one of the core responsibilities that both I and you have as mayors. And that is the core and foundational responsibility to speak on behalf of your constituents. I'm going to continue to speak on behalf of my constituents. We won't be intimidated in Minneapolis, and if there's any place to take inspiration from, don't take it from me. Take it from the 435,000 Minneapolis residents that call our great city home, and the many more that come and go. Take it from the tens of thousands of people that have stood up and peacefully protested to say we love our neighbor, we care about our collective family, and we're going to do everything possible to keep them safe. Take inspiration from the people that are dropping their neighbors off to the grocery store or standing guard outside a daycare to make sure that their families don't get ripped apart. Take it from the countless people that are exhibiting this foundational love of both city and, importantly, country. This is an opportunity to be a patriot, to stand up for the kinds of liberties and freedoms that we...
Right, more buzzwords. Patriot, liberties, freedoms, right?
all hold dear. We recognize that one...
Right? And this thing is going to continue to escalate, man. Right? All hell's going to break loose out here, man. Scriptures say if Satan cast out, let me get that. And we'll go back to that. Mark 3, verse 24. Mark 3 and 23. And once again, if it's redundant, it's over and over. You guys speaking the same thing over and over again. We need fresh content. Change a fucking channel. 2 Ezra 15 and 16 once again. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Right? Rebellion amongst people. Left versus right. Blue versus red. Right? Invading one another. Listen, ICE agents have descended on Minneapolis. Right? And it's going to continue to escalate. They shall not regard their kings or princes. They ain't going to want to hear what the mayor has to say, the president, the governor. And the course of their action shall stand in their power. They're going to do what they want. Well, look, we're seeing the prelude. There's reports coming out of armed civilians standing watch on corners. Right? Standing watch. They've cordoned off areas and say and set up checkpoints. Citizens saying they're watching over their neighborhood. ICE agents can't come in their neighborhood. This is what's going on in America. And once again, listen, it's orchestrated. We know all the world is a stage. We know this politician, his job is to rouse up an emotion. His job is to rouse up emotions from those that are listening, right? The elites are pulling the puppet strings. All roads lead to the MOTB, right? All these things are just going to usher in a solution. Ordo ab chaos. Order ab chaos. Order out of chaos. Problem, reaction, solution. What's the problem right now? They're saying DHS, Homeland Security, Immigration Control. What's your status? People are pushing back. Armed civilians. Pepper spray. Tear gas. Violence. Deletions at the hands of the ICE agents. Right? And it's gonna crescendo and get more intense. And then what? Martial law, Insurrection Act. Detention centers en masse, people snatched up, and then they present a solution. The NWO, the MOTB. Right, it's going to continue to scale. Back in 2 Ezra 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right, checkpoints, 15-minute cities. Right, where's your papers? What's your QR code? Scan this. Scan that. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? And this is the vibration that is being set up. Troubled cities, homes being destroyed, and people in fear. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right? The scriptures say the love of many shall wax cold. People aren't going to care if they knew you or not. But shall destroy their houses with the sword. Right? Destroy their houses with the sword. That's armed home invasions. Running up in your shit. And spoil their goods. Spoil means to take or rob. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? And this is what's coming. A lack of bread, which is sustenance, food insecurities, and great tribulation, a time like no other. Right? But this thing's going to continue to get worse. Mark 3 and 23, and it reads, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, right? And this is Yahushua said this, how can Satan cast out Satan, right? And the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan is the Edomites. And the hub city of the Edomites is America the Great, Babylon the Great, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, right? And right now you're seeing division amongst their Congress, their cabinet, their politicians, right? All theater, all staged, with one outcome being the agenda, which is the agenda of the elites, which is the NWO, the New World Order, the MOTB, the grain of rice, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, right? America the Great is divided. NLT. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And we're seeing the demise of America the Great in real time. We're seeing it. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end, right? So if you're divided, right, they can't stand, right? And it's all the will of the Lord, right? The will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? The Lord's putting the spirit on these elites to move forward with their agenda, their NWO, right? Scripture say the devil shall come out down unto you having great wrath, for he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These elites know their time is running out, so they're moving. So with that, call Allah Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teacher on Ruwell. Shalom to the elect.